Alrighty, we've started the session today. I've marked up my charts. This is One Shot, one of the co-founders of the edgepad. And today I'm going to be talking about the 5 things that I believe every trader needs in order to scale an account, grow that account. You've heard this from other channels. What's a little bit different of a take is number 5 that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So you'll want to stay to the end to understand what number 5 is. So as part of this, you're just going to see me set it up. My edge is really looking at candlesticks and looking at market structure. I don't use really any indicators. I just really have learned to understand where price is moving based upon how candles close and looking at higher time frames in correlation with lower time frames. I'm really looking at the 4-hour candle and what direction it's going, and I'm typically making my trade in that direction in most cases. And so as you can see here, what I've done with my edge is we've had 5 candles that have been bearish, and so I don't really want to continue to take a sell because I believe we're overextended. And right here I've seen that we really, in the last 1, 2, all of these 3, 4 candles, and this one may not close below this 4-hour zone right here, right, where we've got some support. And so I'm probably going to wait the next 10 minutes to see where this 4-hour closes, because if it comes back and closes up here, what it's saying is it came all the way down here, tapped into this here, grabbed the liquidity, and it may reverse back up because it's done that. So I know that overall I'm trying to trading in this daily range, and so if I'm going to catch a setup here on a Monday, which I may not, there are days that I have no trade days, and that's fine by me. I don't have to have a trade. What I need is the right trade for my system. But I'm just looking statistically what I've seen with my edge, with price action, with market structure, and with support and resistance zones. So I'm going to wait for this 4-hour to close, and so I'm going to look at the 1 hour. This 1 hour is in between this zone, and I'll trade a zone if the right setup happens with the sweep of liquidity to make sure that I know where price is going. But with my edge and my setups, I don't have a clear indication where I believe I know where price is going. I know it's going up and down, but it's trading within this edge. So this last 30 minute, it closed within this range, and so seems like this 30 minutes grabbed liquidity, or tapped in the buyers, and it may come down, but I have no idea. This may reverse again and close way up here. So I'm waiting for a closure on the 4-hour. I'm waiting on a closure where this next 30 minutes is going to close, and I'm really looking at this 15 minutes. So this 15-minute close within this range. And would I take this short? No, because in my system, right, this candle didn't close below the range. It's not a setup. And I have 4 setups. I'll go into those setups later. I'll show you the playbook that I've got. So now I'm done. This is why I like this edge. It doesn't take me long to mark up. I'm typically taking trades on the 15 and 30 minute. I like that. It's a little slower. I trade gold. That's really the pair I trade. In other sessions, I'll add another pair like NQ or oil, but for New York Open, no. As you can see here, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get into a sell because, again, price is choppy. It's burning out a lot of people. It tapped in buyers, it tapped in sellers, and now people are in this trade. And that's why I've learned that number 1, so we're going to get into the 5 right now. Number 1 is finding an edge that works for you. So some people say, just find an edge. You've got to find an edge that fits your personality, and that's why number 1's different for me. I tested so many different types of edges, okay? Sweeps of liquidity, that's just that. I can name them all here, but I don't need to just for the purposes of time. But I tested probably, I'd say 50 of them, where I went in, I did the back testing, I tested them. At the end of the day, what I sat down is like, how do I want to trade, and how do I enjoy trading? And I had these edges where I would spend 2 hours marking up the charts and having all of these zones, and I had mentors that I followed with that. At the end of the day, though, my personality is I'm a D personality on the DISC chart, and I don't need a lot of information to make decisions. I just need good information to make good decisions. And so at the end of the day, I wanted more simplicity in my trading. And I'm talking me. You may want to mark up your charts and have multiple indicators. That's fine. Just find an edge that works for you. I have an analytical side to me. I like numbers. I also don't like my chart to be all messy. And so for me here, I'm looking at price action. And so once I decided what I didn't want, it helped me really get clear of what I did want. And that's where I then started to search for mentors that were really, really key on candle closures, that actually knew price action, and really didn't use a lot of indicators. And for me, this has been perfect. So you want to find the right edge for you, for your personality. And so I would take time, turn off all of the computers and get a piece of paper out. I would go analog with this, and I would write down what you don't want. And that's going to help you decide what you do want. The second thing is find a mentor. Once you know what you don't want and what you do want, find a mentor that fits that. If you're still uncertain, then maybe you test one or two out, right, and see what works. It probably took me those, for my personality, going and testing all of them to find what I didn't want. And so you may have to go to the buffet and taste a little bit to know. If you're already with a mentor and you're in a community, I'd say stick in it if it's right for your personality. And so I still, when I found these mentors, the third piece is what hurt me, which was once I had what I felt was an edge, what was right for my personality, and I found some mentors that really that matched my personality and matched the trading style that I wanted to have, is a psychology piece, which is third. You got to have the right mindset and the right psychology. And I thought, hey, I'm a business owner. I have other businesses. There's sometimes that I'll start a Facebook campaign and I'll go 30 days negative until I actually start making money on that campaign. And I don't freak out because I've seen it multiple times. Yet when I started trading, like many other traders, I had to go through the emotions of it. I remember on a small account that I would punch walls and I would get mad and I would get upset. And so it took time, and it took time for me to mature. Trading has been one of the most interesting discoveries of what I've looked at myself personally. It's been such an introspection of myself and being able to see some of the things that I lack in terms of my person, and it's helped me become a better person. I think trading can help you become a better person. Not always. I think it can, though, if you look at it as more than just, hey, I'm here to make money. It's a journey. And I looked at trading as a hobby until I started to get clear that I had an edge. I had a mentor. I stuck with that mentor for 2 to 3 years. I got on the streams. I went through all of the actual stuff. And so you look at some mentors, and I'll come back to number 2 here for a second. You're like, hey, well, why are they shilling a product or have a course, or they have a community and they're charging me money for X, Y, and Z when they're making money in trading? Now, there are people that do that. There are people, however, that have other businesses outside of trading, and I do that as well. I'm doing that here, right? I have an edge that works for me, and now I've created a tool that helps me refine that edge and grow that edge and help others. All right, so I'm a mindset. I have that mindset, so I don't feel bad about people that do that. What you have to do is just ferret them out to say, are they really making money trading or not? And you can get into their communities. You can look over time to really get a feel of, are they just shilling stuff? Are they actually teaching you an edge that statistically works? And you can see it yourself if you stick to it, stick to your edge, stick to your playbook, run the numbers, meaning that you track all your trades, and you're going to need multiple trades to be able to know that. Right? So number 1 is finding an edge that works for your personality. Number 2 is finding a mentor that is not just shilling a service or a product. They're going to have a community, and they're most likely going to be charged money for it, and it's worth to pay it if you can compress time frames, which is what happened for me with the right mentors. Then third is then you work on the psychology piece. Everybody should read Forex Mindset. It's perfect. I read it every year, and it's getting to the point that you know that you're patient. Like, as you can see here, there's been multiple people that have got into these trades, and I may not take a trade today, but my setup has not happened, so I get the chance to talk and create a really good video that hopefully they can help a lot of people. So number 3 is working on the psychology piece, and having the right mentor can help with that, and having an edge that can help with that has clearly defined rules. But there were times that I would have the mentor, I would have the rules, and I would break that rule. So then what I started to do is I would say, if I break a rule, I can't trade for the next 2 days. And that really, really, I love trading, and I wanted to be on the charts. And so as I started to do that, I started to not make as many mistakes. Now, that worked for me, it may not work for you, but if I broke my rules of my system, I literally didn't trade for the next 2 days. And it was really hard, and I didn't love it, but it taught me to actually stick to the rules, okay? And the fourth piece of having the right psychology is not over risky, and that's risk management. So that's number 4. So you have to have the right edge that works for your personality and find one. Second is finding a mentor and sticking with that mentor and not jumping all over the place. Third is you have to have the right psychology and the right mentor can help you, the right books, and just time, sticking with the rules, working on it. If you mess up, have a rule like I did, or find something that works for you. Hey, you're gonna have to like walk away from the charts. And I think the other thing that helped me is I just treated it as a hobby. It's not like I had to burn the bridges from everything else. It's like, look, I'm gonna learn this. It's gonna be a long-term thing. It's gonna take me a couple of years, and I'm gonna just work at it day in and day out. That's why everybody should read The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's just a daily, simple disciplines that turns into massive success by doing it every day. And you may not see it that day that you're actually trading, but you'll look back over 2 to 3 years, and you'll be like, wow, what have I learned? And that's what I see now. Like, I look at the charts and I see the compounding of spending time, and that, like this, having the patience to not get into a trade. And you can say, well, he's not going to get in trade because he doesn't want to lose money. I may lose money. I may lose money today if I do take a trade. What I do know is if I take a trade that's not in my setup or in my playbook, that probability-wise I'm gambling. And I just need to wait for my setups. And today it may not happen. Mondays, sometimes it happens, sometimes it not. And so that's why on Mondays I'm even more patient to weigh, like, where is price really going to be going? And then you have 4, and so getting the right trade management is key. And that's why the edgepad is so awesome, right? Because it allows you to have confidence to be able to do the risk manage the right way. What I have found, and one of my mentors taught me, is you have to earn your size, meaning earn your size and you're going to scale your account. Because the market knows if I had 3 trades that I won and I was only risking, let's say, 1% of the account, I'm like, okay, I've calculated out, I'm winning, I'm going to start risking 5% or 10%, or just one time I'm going to win. And if I can just win 10%, that's going to blow my account up. The markets know that, and I've seen it happen. And then I lose, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I lost all this money. Then you get upset and you get sad, and it's part of the psychology piece. So you have to, over 100 trades, statistically know that you can stick to your playbook. Then what I do is then I ramp it up. And so after 100 trades, I say, okay, I've got a $1,500 account. I'm going to put 10 grand in. Another 9 or 8,500, and I'll be at 10 grand. Then I work it out like I'm just going to stick to 100 trades using the same risk percentages. And now with the edgepad, I can do that because look, I can decide on contract size, risk amount, right, risk percentage. And this is really cool because now it's like dominoes. So I call this the domino effect. It's the 5th piece, is having the right tool. Okay, you can have a great edge, you can have the awesome and the best mentors, you can have the best mindset, and you can have risk management on a calculator that you have to like calculate really fast, which is what I used to have to do when I was in Forex. But when I came to futures, there wasn't a tool out there. I had them in Forex, but I didn't have them in futures. And now with having the right tool, like it's like if I want to go out and cut the grass and I'm going to use a hoe versus an electrical lawnmower, the edgepad is the electrical lawnmower. It compresses time frames. It allows me to actually have a more refined edge. It allows me to be more disciplined. It allows me to take the stuff from my mentor and be able to compound it faster. I'm able to have better psychology because I'm okay waiting around, because I know with the proper risk management, if I get into the trade, I know what I'm risking, and I can actually also be in a trade and manage that trade better. So the psychology piece and also the risk management piece. Now I know there's stuff outside of that over time you have to learn. As you learn those, having the right tools makes it a lot better. And I've seen that. And that's why one of the main reasons we've created the edgepad, because we wanted to help people do those 4 things and create a domino effect that actually compounds in your favor. So is there a price attached to it? Absolutely. It's worth every penny. It's actually at a discount right now. It's only going to get a bit better. In the beginning stages, yeah, like anything, when we built this out, it wasn't perfect, and it's still not perfect. It's pretty dang good though, and that's why I use it every day in my own trading, right? And so really those are the 5 things, and that 5th thing is really having the right tool, right? And it's, you want a tool that works for you. And so we created one where the charts are fluid and they work. As you see, I can scroll between these charts pretty simply to see for my time frames where I want to go. I can also change contracts. I'm in my live account, $1,500, right? And I can go back to the dashboard and I can see some really cool things. Okay, this is an account that I've taken a few things, so I can go into my trade journal and see the account, what I've traded. I've lost some. These are break-even trades. Here's a trade I lost, and here's some trades that I won. Here was a big one that I won that went my direction, right? And so this has been really good. it's about $150 up on a $1,500 account. Okay, and so this tells me, what my trade has been for this account. So I've got the trade journal. These are the multiple accounts. You can stack up as many Trade-Evade accounts as you want in here. So if you've got an account at multiple prop firms, load them in here. Soon copy trading will come, so that will be really cool. We've got analytics, right? This is only going to get better, where we have AI. Back testing will be added to this. Why isn't that added now? I just wanted to create something that I knew could help me compound the 4 immediately, because there wasn't something out. So all I do is have to hit open charts, and I come back to these charts and I can get going. All right, and so sometimes I have to, hit the refresh button just to get them as quickly as I need it. So I'm going to come back here. I think the 4 hour has now closed, and so as you can see here, this 4 hour closed above the range, and so I am most likely going to be looking for longs, right? And so I think this 4 hour is going to create a bottom wick here, and that's where I'm going to look at lower time frames. So if I do get a trade today, it most likely will be a long, and I'm going to be looking at a 15-minute time frame where, okay, this is really choppy. And so what I'm most likely looking for is price probably to come back down here, create some sort of support here to be going in a different direction, or have price come back, tap, and then it's going to close outside of this because there's wicks here and price. So I'm probably going to wait for the 15-minute to decide here. I know what direction I feel like I'm going to take a trade based upon the probabilities of my edge, based upon what the 4 hour did and closed, and what I've seen price action do. And so I want you to take these 5 things, write them down, right? You have to have all 5, in my opinion, to actually be a successful trader. And trading is really difficult. Anybody that tells you it's easy, it's silly, right? Can it become more simple? Yes, trading can be easier, and it can be simple if you make it. But by not having those 5 things, I think that's where it becomes difficult, because let's say I have what I believe to be an edge and I have a mentor, but I can't get my psychology or the risk management piece, then I end up losing out. You have to combine all of those 4 and then wrap it around with the right tool. I absolutely 100% believe having the right tool makes trading better, and it can make it more efficient. Can it make it easier, more simple? I believe so. It takes time, and I'm not saying over time, it's not going to happen overnight, right? And I'm not going to try to sell you that. Is trading one of the coolest things that you can do in terms of freedom and time and to grow an account? Yeah, I absolutely believe that, which is why I have done it. And you have to like it. That's why I think, number one, you have to find the right edge that works for you, right? But as you can see here, it has a really nice setup. I can decide whether I'm going to buy or sell. So once I know what my setup is, I can come in here and really just, again, having the right tool just gives me more confidence once I know that I have these other features, and it just makes it easier for me, at least, and I believe it could be for other people, right? And so let's say I'm going to take it long at some point. All right, here's the order type. It can be a market order, a limit order, or stop. If you don't know what those mean, go to ChatGPT or AI and you can figure it out and read it, right? In most cases, I'm taking a stop. I'm placing a stop that my trade gets hit. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to decide I'm going to trade 2 contracts on this, and I'm going to go with the buy. Here's what's really cool is I can set my bracket. So I'm going to go to contracts, and I'm going to go 2, okay, and I'm going to enter the stop loss at this price or this price. I can enter it in, or I can just set the brackets. And see, this is what's really cool is, let's say I believe price is going to come right up here. Okay, this is the buy, and then this is my entry. I'm going to enter in once price grabs liquidity and then ramps up, okay? And then I'm going to have a stop loss, which is down here, okay? So, and something like this, let's say it's down here, okay? I'm risking $182 to make 46, okay? Now, I don't want to enter this trade because it's not part of my system, but I'm just showing you what it would look like. Now let's say it was, I could hit confirm buy stop, and now it's gone to Trade-Evade and it's on the chart. Here's the other thing I love about this, and again, why having the right tool is so important. I like to take partials. I like to book profits. I've learned that. I've been in trades where I'm like, oh, it's going, and it reverses and I get 0, right? I like to take some out. So with futures, it's different than Forex. I understand taking partials is easier and it's mathematically better if you want to like take out 75%, you take out 75%. Unfortunately, the way the book works on futures, you can't do that. So that's why in many cases I trade MGC, so I can trade more than multiple contracts on smaller accounts, right? Because GC contracts are bigger. But let's say I wanted to take out one contract at 50%. Okay, look at this. I can move this around, right? But let's say I wanted to take one contract out here, right? So if price reversed, entered my trade, came out up here, and let's say I had to walk away to the bathroom. This is why having the right tool. I have a stop loss in place, I have a take profit in place, and I have a profit. I have a partial, okay? So what's really cool is if it comes up here and hits the partial, then it takes out the other contracts. And so one of these days I'm going to show you like some of these other platforms that I've used in the past and why not having the right tool was an absolute nightmare. I was losing money even though I had the right edge and I had a mentor and I had psychology and I actually, what I believe to be really good risk management, the tool allowed me to actually have worse risk management. And I just got more frustrated and the psychology wasn't there. And there was about a month or two that I just stopped trading because all there was one of these platforms on it was Project X actually, which is a phenomenal tool, right? It's owned by a certain company and they took it back from some of these other prop firms and now you have to use it with Top Step. And don't have anything bad to say about Top Step. I think it's great and I think if that's what you want to use, I use Top Step as well for some of my prop firm accounts. This tool can be used with Tradeovate, it can be used with prop firms, and it's something that I believe is better than Project X in some ways, not every way, but in this way where you can actually be able to have a tool that's going to help you compound those other four things, which is having an edge, having a mentor that can help you refine that edge, having the mindset and the psychology piece right, and have the risk management piece right. Okay? And so if I walked away, then if this hit and then it hit partials, then I came back, I could move my stop to break even. And so even if it went up here and then came back down, I'm still protected, right? But I can walk away for a second if I had to go do something to know that I'm protected. And again, that's why having the right tool can help in so many different ways. Okay? And then if I just want to get out of this trade, I'm like, I don't like this. I just click on the button and it takes it off the screen. It's just so simple. I just love having the right tool, and that's why one of the reasons why I created the edgepad. Trading, it can be boring, and it should be at the end of the day because you just have patience. So it's why getting the right community and having the right friends to trade with if you're a social person, or if you're not, just have fun with it. Listen to music. Having the right tool, though, really helps. So that's why that number 5 makes those other four things compounded by 2 or 3 times. And so I really want to have you think through that. Is you need all 4 of those. You also need the right tool or the right tools to help you do that. And so indicators are tools, can be, and many times it are, but also having the right trading tools to help you refine your edge. And that's why we called it the edgepad, because we wanted to allow you to compress time frames faster at defining your edge, refining your edge, and scaling your edge. Having your mentor help you do that. 3rd, help you get your psychology in place faster and help you do the risk management and give you more confidence to be able to make trades. Am I guaranteeing that you're going to make money? Of course, I can't do that. You may never be successful at trading. There is a system to do it, and if you're willing to put in the time and willing to have the right tool, and in addition to those 4 other things, and pay for those tools, then you potentially have a better leg up than others. And that's a promise I can make to you, that if you're willing to put that time in and do those things, then you're going to have a higher chance than others. So there you have it. If I take a trade, I'll put it on here and I'll get back on, but as of right now, I'm still not seeing where this setup has happened, and you don't probably want to sit around and wait. But see, this is kind of happening, which I think what will happen is, we're still on this 4 hour, and this 4 hour may come all the way down. There is that chance, but that's not my edge, right? I'm trading. Again, I'll show you my playbook at some point later, but because this 4 hour didn't close below, I want this to create a 4 hour low on this candle. Most all candles have top and bottom wicks, and this has a little bit of a top wick, but I think this probably has a higher chance of reversing since it's done that in the past here. And so the lower time frames, if I find that it does that, right, so let's say this 15-minute closes here, the next 15-minute grabs liquidity and closes something like this over here, like this candle right here, then I'm in on that next candle. Absolutely. This is a move that I trade in my edge all the time right here, right? And that's part of what I do is I trade patterns on charts, right? And so this pattern right here, I trade this all day long. Okay. Alrighty. So have the right tool. We are at a discount, worth every penny for what you can get for it right now before we add more features and the price goes up. We've already started to see people having a lot of traction and excitement with it. So go ahead and get involved as part of one of our day one users and get it at a price of $49, because the price will be going up very quickly, and it should be higher, right? If you think about it. And this is the last thing I'll say, like over here in the dashboard, I pay for a trade journal. I also pay for an analytics journal, right? And I pay for some risk management tools on other brokers, right? And so I wanted to compass one place where I could stop paying those and just pay one price for all of them. And so this is, again, why I believe if all of this stuff is here, and with whether it's a live account or my prop firms, because it can be a live account or a prop firm account, and all of the data flows into here and I can track it all. And that allows me to make decisions better on my edge statistically. What does my edge look like? What are my setups and things of that nature? Are there things that we'll want to add to this? Sure, we'll want you to get in and we want you to tell us what's working, what's not working, what features you may want to see. That doesn't mean we're going to put them in. We have features that we know we want to put in, like copy trading. That's going to be a huge piece, and that's, again, be another element where you're going to have all these things in one ecosystem where it's going to be worth paying $100 a month or higher for a tool. Again, if it's the right tool that's going to help you, is it worth it for me to pay $100 to grow and scale my account and my edge personally? Absolutely, for me. And it might be for you. All right. Till the next trading day, remember the 5 things: having the right edge and finding one that works for your personality, having the right mentor that can help you grow that and sticking to that, having the right mindset and getting the psychology piece in place, having the proper risk management, earning your size, being able to make sure that you statistically know that you can scale, and then 5, having the right tool that can help compound all of those together. And the edgepad, I really do believe, can help the right trader do that. So go ahead and get signed up on the website. Go to theedgepad.com. Read about it, get signed up, start trading, using it so you can actually compress time frames. Take care.